All right, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you how we send 1,000 emails, cold emails every single day for SMMA and for outreach. Now, I'm going to be focusing mainly on the domain setup and all the backend, so the email infrastructure and everything like that. I'm going to run you through very quickly what the tech stack that we use is. So everything here is going to be either Smart Lead in terms of list building, use Clay, Apollo, Crunchbase, ListKit. Email verification is Dbounce, HubSpot is the CRM, and then we use Calendly for scheduling things. There's a whole video that I've done in terms of the tech stack, a breakdown of costs and everything like that. So feel free to check that out on my channel as well. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually set up the whole infrastructure so that you can actually send out 1,000 emails a day. And if you're getting anywhere from like 2 to 4 to possibly even 5% response rates, you're going to be getting anywhere from like 20 to 50 plus responses every single day. So, which would be amazing for most people's businesses because then they have way more pipeline, more leads coming through. And as Hormozy says, double your leads. Is it double your leads, double your income? Something like that. So yeah, anyways, let's get into it. So purchasing domains is the first thing. And what you want to do is you want to have an infrastructure where you have your main domain. So as an example, I'm going to use here leadexpert.com is your main website, right? That's your company, that's your website that you bought, and you currently have an email address. It's probably like, Oliver@leadexpert.com, right? And that's your main email that you use. You use that to communicate with people, you do all that stuff. But what you want to do is you want to purchase 10 domains. And this says one email, but actually this needs to be changed to it's anywhere from 1 to 3 emails per domain, right? And if you set up, say, 2, you're going to be able to send 20, from 20 different emails. And if you choose 3, then you're going to be sending from 30 different emails. But I'll go through that in just a second. So purchase 10 domains, and then what this allows us to do is rotate inboxes and reduce the likelihood of ending up in spam, as well as also maintaining high deliverability. So if one of your domains becomes affected, then it's just automatically switched out for another one within the whole domain infrastructure, essentially. And when you're purchasing a domain, so you've got your main domain here, let's say leadexpert.com, you could try and get domains like getleadexpert.com or tryleadexpert.com, and obviously switch this out for whatever your domain is. You can also do different extensions, so .co, .tech also works. You don't want to go for the super cheap ones. You want to go for ones that are like, .tech, .co, .io, .ai, .com, and things like that. .agency, potentially .media. Just ones that look like legitimate businesses. Don't go for like .site or .store or something. And then the structure would be, so you've got the main domain here, and then you've got an alias domain and an alias domain. Now, these alias domains are going to forward to your main domain, and we'll get through that in just a second. And then under that, you would have your email addresses. So, for example, here, you would have oliver@tryleadexpert.com, and then you would have oliver.m@tryleadexpert.com. So you've got 2. And then over here for this domain, you've got another 2, which is exactly the same, except it's under this domain. And again, this is just your main domain, and these are forwarding. So in actual fact, they're all equal they're all equal standing, if that makes sense. Cool. So once you've got that set up or just got that understanding of how that works, then the next thing is the technical setup. So once you've purchased your domains, then you need to set up your emails as well. And this involves a whole bunch of technical setup. So this is essentially setting up the DKIM, DMARC, and SPF. In terms of what those actually mean, they're basically like sender policy framework and just essentially outlining to Google, especially if you're using Google Workspace, and also outlining to Outlook that you are a real person, and it's basically authenticating the authenticity of your email, essentially, and that it's coming, from a real person. And this is super key so that we don't end up in spam when sending emails. Google's actually releasing something in February that will basically say that if you don't have DKIM set up, then it's going to massively, massively affect your deliverability. So make sure that you've got those 3 things set up. If you're using Google Workspace and you set up and you buy the domains from GoDaddy or you buy the domains from Namecheap, you'll have to set all of these up. But if you buy it from Squarespace domains, then you'll only have to set up the DMARC because the SPF and DKIM already set up. I've got a full guide as well on how to do this. This is actually like the separate videos, and I'm going to share this whole document so you have a step-by-step of what to follow and how to actually set up domains. So yeah, you can use both Outlook and Google, and it just depends on preference as well as your target market. Google are making a lot of changes and a lot of like anti-spam things, so it might be worth checking out a lot more and investing a bit more time into setting up Outlook domains. But for example, if your target market is enterprise, then Outlook might be better because a lot of enterprises use Outlook. If it's smaller, Google might be better. And the reason for this is emails have better deliverability when sending from the same email service provider. So, for example, if you're sending from an Outlook email to another Outlook email, your deliverability might be better than sending like an Outlook email to a Gmail, a Google email, and so on and so forth. And yeah, it's just a small difference, but it can make a big difference for deliverability. This happens automatically in a lot of sending tools like Instantly and SmartLead. You can usually check like domain matcher. Domain provider matching, basically, which means that it will send from Google to Google, Outlook to Outlook, and do its best to match those things. And it's not bad if it doesn't happen, but it's just it will optimize a little bit more for deliverability. And if you're setting this up, then you want to set up like 5 to 7 for Google. So what I mean by 5 to 7 is 5 to 7 domains, and then have that and set everything up under Google Workspaces. And then you want to set up like 3 to 5 for Outlook so that you have a balance of the two. There's also a structure here that you can follow that's like quite literally a step-by-step on how to set this up, and just like quite literally just tick boxes of do this, do this, do this, do this, and then you'll have your domain set up and all the technical setup so that you can have the deliverability right and everything like that. And there's a video that I've done here as well on how to actually connect, MX records and verify. And this is if you're using something like Namecheap or GoDaddy, you'll need to do this. This is actually setting up your emails, and then this is enabling Warmup as well. So and then this is setting up SPF and everything like that. So there's full detailed breakdowns on here. And then this is also the things that you'll need to put into your DNS. This is all if you're using like GoDaddy or Namecheap. If you've bought from Squarespace domains, you normally don't have to do any of this other than just add DMARC. So this is an example here of the records that you'll have to input, or the things that you'll have to input. There's also a setup for Outlook as well, so you can again follow that. It's all step by step. The next thing that's really important is email warm-ups. So the whole goal is warm-ups usually take 2 to 3 weeks. If you use SmartLead, then it takes 2 weeks, and it has like a bar and measuring bar. They're essentially show your email service providers that you're a real human by mimicking human behavior and sending emails between users and responding to those emails. So it normally responds to like 30% of the emails that are sent. It'll just send emails amongst users. So then when you come to send your cold emails, these are warm emails, right? When you come to send your cold emails, your account will be warmed up essentially, and it will look more human. Because if you just start blasting things out, that's obviously like from day one, there's cold and get no responses, then that basically just looks like a scream scammer, right, to Google and everyone else. So you don't want to do that. All right. So yeah, this you can enable Warmup on SmartLead. You can also enable Warmups. As soon as possible, you want to make sure that once you've set up the domain, once you've set up the email, then just connect it to your account. So whether it's Instantly or SmartLead, and just set up the warm up straight away. It takes 14 days from there to warm up properly. You can leave it a little bit longer for 3 weeks, and it'll perform a little bit better, but it's all just sort of minuscule points on optimizing things. Now, during that time that it's warming up, that's when you can start to build out your lead list. That's where you can start to build out your email copy and begin setting up your campaigns in SmartLead or Instantly. So after the 14 days warm-up period, make sure that when you start sending your cold emails, you build up slowly. So what I mean by that is, instead of blasting out like 100 emails a day from every email account straight away, you never want to do that. You want to send like 5, 10, 15, and just build up slowly over several days, so that by the time you get to like week 3 or week 4 from having started your warm-up and using those emails, you're able to be sending like 30 emails a day per email account, right? And because we've set up 10 domains, 2 emails per domain, that's 20 emails in total. If we wanted to send 1,000, we would need to, I'm not going to do the maths because the quick maths ain't quick mathing, but we'd need to send like 30 odd emails a day to get any kind of volume that we want to have, right? And if we wanted to send 1,000 a day, then we would need to set up 30 emails. So it'd be 10 domains, 3 emails per domain, and we need to send 30 a day. And then that would give us, I think, 900, if my maths is correct, if my maths is mathsing, basically. So that's that in terms of the numbers. So that's how you would be able to send out like 1,000 emails a day, and then you can just break that down based on the numbers. Never, ever, ever turn off warm-ups. So warm-ups always need to be running, right? And warm-ups run in conjunction to your cold. So if you're sending say 20 warm-ups a day or 25 warm-ups a day, you want to send 20, 25 cold emails a day, right? Now, the most you ever want to send really is like 50 to 60. So you might have 30 warm-ups and 30 cold emails. You don't really want to push it past that. And that's per one email account. So if you've got 30, you're sending 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 across a whole bunch of different emails. So yeah, this is how you'll warm up. You send sort of 5 to 10, and then you can just slowly ramp it up, right? And again, you want to increase to sort of 15 to 20 is like a good sweet spot, but then you'll need more domains to hit 1,000 emails a day. If you're sending 30, and I don't recommend sending more than 30 cold emails per day, then you're going to need about 30 domains. Oh, sorry, not 30 domains, 30 emails in total. And then you can also use filter tags so that you don't get the stupid warm-ups in your email inbox, and just filter everything out. And then you can set the signature and stuff from SmartLead. The next thing is domain forwarding. So I briefly mentioned this before, but if you've got your main domain, which is, let's say, leadexpert.com, and you set up a alias domain, which is tryleadexpert.com, you want to just make sure that in the DNS settings, and I've got a video here on how you do it, it's really simple. It takes actually 30 seconds. You just forward it from try or get leadexpert.com to the main domain. So if someone types that in or someone sees your email and they copy paste that, then it'll forward to your main domain, so it goes to your website, and it'll, people can see on your website, which is actually quite good for SEO purposes, because you're getting more traffic and more people coming through. So yeah, got a video on how to do that. And then the next thing that's really important is custom domain tracking. So basically what it does is ensure that we're able to track our campaigns properly without having to share our domain tracking address with anyone else. So this is for tracking clicks and open rates, depending on depends on basically the small snippet of HTML that's being injected into your email body. And that is essentially like whenever someone opens it, it will just basically that will send a message saying that someone's opened your email. Essentially, it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty accurate. So whilst it makes for good analytics, sometimes people may see drop-offs in their deliverability for their email campaigns because of these little snippets, right? Because it's basically having a little bit of code that is injected, which can sometimes flag or signal to Google or Outlook that it could potentially be a spam email, right? And you're just trying to do everything you can to weigh it. So basically, the whole goal of having a custom domain is that you're not sharing that like tracking pixel with anyone else. So you have your own tracking pixel, basically. So it's pretty simple to actually set up. You just literally copy paste a couple things, a 2-minute video on how you do it. So you want to have your own custom domain so that you're not having the tracking URL shared by everyone else, but instead you have your own. And again, it just does everything you can for improving deliverability. So yeah, that's how you would set it up. And then these are the instructions here, the things that you literally just need to copy and paste. Again, this is all for SmartLead. So instantly it would have something different, but again, you can see here, these are the tools that I'm using. So this is everything, like the most comprehensive way of how to actually set up the email infrastructure to send 1,000 cold emails a day. And again, the reason why you do this is because you're able to get good volume, and be able to basically generate meetings and sales meetings on repeat, so that you can focus on the higher leverage tasks in your business, like actually doing the sales calls and things like that. So yeah, that's why you want to do something like this. And it's incredibly scalable for the price as well. For setting something up like this, you're probably looking at around sort of $400 a month. With all the domains and with the actual email sequencing tool. I've got a full breakdown of like the tech stack and how much that might cost you to run this whole thing. But for that, and to get 10, 20 meetings a month with ideal customers, is pretty damn ideal. So yeah, feel free to follow this step by step. This is exactly what you do. This is exactly what we do for setting up cold email campaigns, and the whole domain infrastructure. I'll do more videos on obviously similar topics, on writing copy, how to actually do the whole workflow from start to finish. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, make sure to subscribe to the email newsletter that I have as well, which is all on cold email tips and gaining more sales meetings from sending cold emails and cold outbound. So yeah, thanks for your time, and speak soon. Peace.